हरे मम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणप्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण. So we will just start this next section of the sixth canto. So till now we saw Parikshit Maharaj in the fifth canto. He was talking. The discussion was about the structure of universe. She was telling about sthanam, how the universe is creating. That's all discussed in the second and third canto and fourth canto, creation, subcreation. Then sarga, visarga. Then comes sthanam. Sthanam is the position of the planetary systems and all, which is discussed in fifth canto. So when he was discussing, he told about hellish planets, how people are suffering in the hell. So when Parikshit Maharaj heard, immediately he was concerned. He said, "Arey, so many people are suffering in hell. How can they be relieved?" So then Sukadeva Goswami says, "Yeah, they can do prayaschitta." Then Parikshit Maharaj said, "No, no, no, it won't work like that." And Jnana Marga, no, but the tendencies are still there. So then Sukadeva Goswami says, "Arey, don't worry. If somebody chants the holy name and do bhakti, kechit kevalaya bhaktya vasudeva parayanam, agham dhanvanti kashnena neharima bhaskara." Just by bhakti it will be done. And to give that, he gave a very heavy example. You see, Ajamila was supposed to go to hell. You are thinking about hell, and he can. Nobody is as qualified as Ajamila for going to hell. If you take in that way, so Ajamila was so sinful. But see what happened? Just chanted the name of Narayana one time, and even Yamadutas were coming and taking. They could not take him. Immediately he got delivered. So you are worried about hell. So Ajamila was delivered from hell. So bhakti is the way to come out of it. Then, then the conversation comes about, and then the doubt may come. "Arey, how such a sinful person?" Same doubt even Yamadutas had. So when they were taking, when Vishnu said, they stopped. They said, "Arey, Veda pranito hi dharma." So Vishnu Dutas asked, "On what basis you are taking him?" So they explained that on the basis of Vedas, because Vedas are talking about dharma. This fellow did not follow dharma. Vishnu Dutas give a higher dharma. He says, "Arey, you foolish fellow, you don't know dharma only." This fellow chanted the name of Lord. That's all. He's not under your jurisdiction. So Ajamila heard it, went to Haridwar, and he perfected himself. But Vishnu, Yamadutas, they went to Yamaraj and asked, "First of all, tell us who is the authority." So they didn't understand Vishnu Duta's argument because they were emotionally stuck with something else. Their ego got hurt, so they couldn't understand. The preaching didn't work. Where Vishnu Duta's message, Ajamila understood, but Yamadutas did not understand because our understanding is proportionate to the state of heart. With what state of heart we are listening, we can understand the message. That is the most important. So here Ajamila understood, Vishnu Yamadutas didn't understand. They go and they ask Yamaraj, "Arey, who is the authority? We thought you are the boss. We were working for you." Somebody else came and they jeopardized everything. So then Yamaraj says, "No, no, I am not the authority. There is only one authority. It is Veda Pranito Dharma is right, but Dharmantu Sakshat Bhagavat Pranita. Higher Dharma is whatever Lord says is Dharma. And then we are all obedient to him. And no, we are not the boss. Only one boss is there, that is Krishna, and we are all subordinate to him. And whatever he says is Dharma, not only me, even all other Ashtadik Palakas and everybody are obeying them, even Brahma also." And then he tells what is the power of holy name. He said, keep distance from devotees. If they are chanting, they don't come under our jurisdiction. They are under a different boss. He is the big boss. And then he apologizes on behalf of the Yamadutas to the Lord. So Sukadeva Goswami tells, so see, if you are seeing hell, you are thinking of people suffering from hell, you can see here that Ajamila got delivered. So this is the conclusion of whole, we can say the uh, first section of Bhagavatam, the sixth canto about Ajamila. Now we will see the next section. So here, this is about uh, this section is talking now. First, Pracheta story will come. So now he continues the discussion on just. So the discussion will continue about first about the Prachetas, how the what activity they did, and then it comes to Hamsa Gusha prayers by Daksha. So Bhagavatam is Srutena Arthena Ansa Anjasa. It is about the pastime and prayers. Prayers are the important part of Bhagavatam. Compared to any other Puranas and all, we don't find so many prayers, but Bhagavatam has so many prayers. So that is the speciality of Bhagavatam. So we'll see illuminated governance, leadership, ecology, and inner mastery in Srimad Bhagavatam. So here about the epistemic chain of Bhagavatam. So what Bhagavatam is inner message, outer message. The outer box is like Suta Goswami retelling the account to the sages of Naimisharanya, and then he is giving the discussion between Sukadeva Goswami answering the inquiries of Parikshit Maharaj, and the historical accounts of the secondary creations and the Prachetas. So that is the thing that is going on here. So Maharaj Parikshit is asking the question. So he want to know about the creation and secondary creation. So that is going on. So this canto is about Poshanam. Fifth canto is about Sthanam, the planetary system. Now this is about Poshanam, how the Lord is maintaining. Poshanam is Tad Anugraha. So Lord's mercy. Now we saw in Ajamila's case what is the Lord's mercy. And now we'll see further. So the Bhagavatam utilizes a story within a story architecture. This specific narrative acts as a detailed unfolding of cosmological and administrative principles previously only summarized. So here ecology. So this is about the summary of this section. So this chapter is very big chapter, fourth chapter. I just took some part of it to make you we'll just see what Prabhupada is telling in this chapter and what lesson. So in the third, if you I just summarize the first three chapters. So the what we have to learn from the first three chapters I have told about Prayaschitta, about the power of holy name, about what is dharma. All these things are explained. So now we will take the second section. What are the lessons we should learn from the second section, so that at the end of sixth canto we know in a gist. Okay, this is what is there about the holy name, Prayaschitta, dharma, who is the authority, who is the boss, why we should not offend the Vaishnavas. Even Yamaraj is afraid of Vaishnavas, dealing with Vaishnavas. How should we deal like that? So now we'll see the second thing, what lessons or what things we can remember from the second. The principle is the absence of Kshatriya. Administrative oversight happened because Prachita's King Prachni Barhi, he left in the fourth canto we hear. He he was preached by Narada Muni. He's telling don't live a religious life. Even that is dangerous. So he left. So the 10 Prachetas, son of King Prachni Barhi, submerged themselves in the ocean for a prolonged austerities with the king retired and his heirs absent. The active government seized. The land left unmanaged. was overrun by wild, useless tree growth. So that's actually what happened. It was overrun. So now, because of that, the neglect of the Vaishya duties, Krishi Gorakshawajam, agriculture and co-production. So the ecology was overgrown. The land fails to produce fruits, overtaken by useless vegetation. So when the governing class fails to direct societal energy towards productive agriculture, natural resources degrade into unusable chaos. So that's actually what happened in this case, that nobody was taking care. So when government is there, they will do some proper, like you have to construct, you have to give the infrastructure. Road should be built, water facility should be given, and like previously they used to dig wells and canals, and they used to give some roads so that people can properly do the things. Nothing is there, trees are going here, there. People cannot go only, and they cannot do anything proper. That's actually what happened. And then the danger of uncalibrated power. So now what happens is they were very powerful now, Prachetas. So emerging from the ocean and seeing the neglected world, the Prachetas become enraged. Their severe tapasya, austerity has granted them immense mystic power, allowing them to generate destructive wind and fire directly from their mouths to burn the trees to ashes. Now, what is the principle? The devotee, this is from Prabhupada Purports and Acharya. The devotee, high character, low power, engaged in devotional service, awaiting power as a grace. A saintly leader is high power, high character. Power is perfectly controlled. They are vimanyavaha, free from anger and tolerant like a tree. And a neutral person is low power, low character, unengaged, ineffective, and passive. The demonic is high power, low character. Power expresses as rage and destruction. Example Hiranyakashipu and Ravana. This is from Prabhupada. So Prabhupada is giving four categories. Devotee, you may not have big power. At saintly leaders, they have high power, but they are also free from anger. But demonic people is the most dangerous. So austerity generates immense power. Only devotion ensures that power is governed by saintly restraint rather than destructive anger. So this is what Prabhupada's lesson. And then the Soma intervenes. He is the moon god. He intervenes the voice of the system. Soma, the presiding deity of the moon, observes the destruction as the maintainer of all herbs, trees, and vegetation across the universe. He steps in to pacify the Pracheta's rage. So here he tells duty over destruction. A ruler's primary function is the protection of praja subjects, never their unnecessary destruction. So they want to protect, but Soma tells, but this vegetation is also part of your kingdom only. So you are meant to protect them also. Legacy of restraint. The Pracheta's ancestors walked on the path of maintenance, no anger. True monarchy requires continuity of duty. So this is what Soma is telling them. And then he says future viability. Soma says burning the ecosystem directly contradicts their divine mandate to generate progeny and sustain further population. So there Soma gives this three reasons. So it is they are your subjects, you have to protect them, and you should walk the path of your ancestors, and it will be ecological disaster. Very simple. So these are these three reasons Soma gives to Prachetas why they should not burn the trees. So Soma does not meet anger with anger. He meets emotional while viality with a master class in system, multi generational responsibility. so, so this is the three reasons Soma gave why they should not do it. They actually want to do their duty. So, like say Arjuna. Arjuna is doing his duty of killing. You cannot kill with smile, right? You really have to become angry on the person, then only you can kill. Like sometimes we become angry on somebody, what we do? We we scold them or something. But somebody becomes more angry, they start beating also, and much more anger, they may kill. Now Arjuna has have to become so angry that he has to kill not one people. He was killing thousands of people. So here Prachetas, when they came out, they saw that things are not proper. Now for them to set, they need anger also. Otherwise they cannot set right things. For Arjuna to set right things, he also needed anger. That's why he went to all these. Uh, mm, means he went to he had to kill to set up the things. Same thing Prachitas also. They are also becoming angry, but it is not. They can control the anger. That's why when Soma says don't, and then he says okay, fine, we'll not do it. So Soma thought, "Arey, they are going too much. They should be controlled." they so Soma says, "Okay, wait a minute. You are doing right. You whatever you did is did, but don't do it more. It should be they are also your subjects. You have to follow your ancestors, and no, it will damage ecology." So that was the reason. So it is not wrong. Like Anuman becoming angry, Arjuna becoming angry. Prabhupada gives the example. So ahimsa is not paramo dharma for that is one level, but paramo dharma is what pleases the Lord. So here the architecture of natural provision. So level one is then this is what Soma tells to Prachetas. He says grass, fruits, and flowers. They are level one. Legless creatures, insects, level 2. Four-legged grazing animals, level 3. Crawled predators and human beings. Consuming grains and specific animals like deer. So they are level 4. Even cow also. The non-negotiable exception is scriptural injunction strictly place the cow outside the food chain. Honored as a mother for providing milk, cow protection is central to Vedic society with severe karmic penalties for violation. So many people they don't understand only. They think they are eating beef as if they are eating some potato or some paneer. How much reaction they'll get. And no, it is like fashion. For Indian people when they go west, na, they become so foolish. They start eating beef. They don't understand how much dangerous it is. If the Western person eat beefs and Indian person eats beef, the reaction is more for Indian person because he's born in India. So he should be supposed to know what is right, what is wrong. So the reactions are more for Indians than Western also because that fellow is ignorant. So the reaction is like say if you are given some special privilege and if you misuse, the punishment is more. It is severe punishment because you already know it. Like say somebody is uh, found guilty, but he don't know about the rule. They may punish, but they give some concession. The jury may give some concession, but he knows and is still doing it. Then the offense is more, more punishment. It's so sinful actually. People they don't understand how much pain you are giving to other living entity, and people drink milk, people are doing everything, dairy products are there, and you are still killing and eating also. How ungrateful, how much pain you are giving. And because the consciousness of cow is very high, na, that's why the punishment is also very high. If you are taking lower animals, the punishment is less because their conscious not grown. So it's like that. So the practical web of protective duty. So governing, the king protects all subjects. The king, and then martial, the husband protects wife. Familial is parents protect, and then the down is biology. The eyelids protect the eyes. The Soma argues that protection is the organizing principle of nature at every scale. As future kings, the Prachetas are the ultimate guarantors of this entire web. To destroy the trees is to sever the outermost ring, casting the whole structure of duty to collapse. So he gives how it will be a problem. And then the theological basis of radical empathy. The Supreme Personality of God resides as a super soul Paramatma within hearts of every living entity, moving or non moving. So he is the body as a template. So another reason he gives is how he is damaging, and then he says, Lord is there in everyone's heart. Body as a temple, and because the Lord is housed in every body, unnecessary envy driven destruction of any life form is an offense against the resident Lord. So if I am giving pain to somebody, the Paramatma in the heart of that living entity also get pained. This is very important. We should never give pain because we have to see the Paramatma in their heart. Then we understand, oh, he is also very unhappy. And the Paramatma in our heart, if we are doing pain to others, he is also unhappy and that both are unhappy. The paradox of austerity. Soma points out the logical flaw in the Prachetas' anger. They performed austerities to satisfy the super soul, but now burning the very bodies in which that same super soul resides. Array, you pleased him and now you are displeasing him because this is what you are doing now. So we will come to the purports directly. We'll just take few shlokas and then I'll come back to this slide. So the blessed king said to Sukadeva Goswami, My dear Lord, the demigods, demons, human beings, Nagas, beasts, and the birds are created during the region of Swayambhu Manu. You have spoken about this creation briefly in the third canto. Yes. Now I wish to know about it elaborately. I also wish to know about the potency of Supreme Lord by which he brought about the secondary creation. So this is the question he is asking. So Devasura Ninam Sargo Naganam Mriga Pakshinam Samsa Samasikaspayo Prokto Yastu Swayambhuvo Antare Tasyaiva Vasam Ichhami Jatum Te Bhagavan Yata Anusargam Jaya Saktya Sasarja Bhagavan Parah. So this is a shloka. And he says, then Sutta Goswami is telling, इति संप्रश्नम् आकर्ण्य राजर्षे बादरायणै प्रतिनन्ध्या महायोगी जगादा मुनिसत्तमा. The great sage Sudeva Goswami said, the great sage assembled at Naimisharanya after the great yogi Sukadeva Goswami heard King Parikshit inquiry. He praised it and thus replied. So now back to Suta Goswami's conversation. सूत उवाच यदा प्रचेतस्पुत्रा दश पञ्चा न भैरिषः अन्तः समुद्रात् उन्मागान् ददर्शो गां द्रुमैर्वताम्. The 10 sons of Rajni Varshi emerged from water in which they were performing austerities. They saw that entire surface of world was covered by trees. So when King Prachini Barhi was performing Vedic rituals and which the Killing of animals was recommended. Narada Muni, out of compassion, asked to stop, and Prajnibari understood Narada's purpose and left the kingdom to perform austerities. Now then his 10 sons comes out. His father was killing animals and sons came and started destroying the trees. One is killing animals, one is killing trees. And Dhruva Maharaj was killing his ancestor. Dhruva was killing the Yakshas. Somebody is already destroying the family. Dhruva destroyed the Yakshas, and then his descendant Prajnivar he is destroying, he is killing animals, and then his sons are coming and destroying the trees. So came out of the water, saw the earth was overgrowing. When the government neglects agriculture, which is necessary for production of food, the land becomes covered with unnecessary trees. So this is what Prabhupada is doing. Kushi Gorakshavajam. We saw in the slides, right? So we'll see the fifth verse is telling द्रुमेभ्यः क्रुध्यमानास्ते तपोदीप्तामनमन्यवः मुक्तो वा आयुम् अघ्निं च जुस्तद्दिदृक्षया. Being because of having undergone long austerities in the water, the Prachetas were very angry at the trees. Desiring to burn them to ashes, they generated wind and fire from their mouths. So, Prabhupada is saying, Tapo Deepta Manyavaha indicates that the person who have undergone severe austerities are endowed with great mystic powers, as evident by Prachetas, who created fire and wind from their mouth. Although devotees undergo severe tapasya, whoever they are, Vimanyavah Sadavaha, which means they are never angry. They're always decorated with good qualities. So that slides we saw the four devotee, non-devotee, and all. So this is the point. But the sixth verse. ताभ्यां निर्ध्यमानानां स्तान् उपलभ्य कुरुद्वः राजोवाच महान् सोमो मन्युप्रश्मयम् इव. So here when Soma, the king, my dear king, when Soma, the king of trees, the predominating deity of the moon, saw the fire and wind burning all the trees to ashes, he felt great sympathy because he is the maintainer of all houses and trees. He appeases the burnt anger of the Prachita. Soma spoke as follows. So we saw what all the and Prabhupada tells here. A nice point. Vishwanath Chakra Thakur says Soma Vaka Vakshadhisthana Sa Eva Vrakshanam Raja. Soma, the predominating deity of the moon, is the king of all vegetations. Now, Prabhupada is telling, how can we believe that the maintainer of vegetation has no vegetation on his own planet? So he's telling he is the creator of vegetation on the earth. Why he will not have? That is Prabhupada's logic. So on the moon there are not rocks, there are all these things are there. न धूमेभ्यो महाभागा धीनेभ्यो द्रोतुमर्हतः विवर्धतिष्ठवो यूयं प्रजानां प्रत्यस्मिताः. O greatly fortunate one, you should not kill those poor trees by burning them to ashes. Your duty is to wish the citizens all prosperity and act for their protection. So we saw the five reasons he gives. First is they are your subjects. Second is you have to follow your ancestors. Third is you are damaging ecology. Then he says that you are displeasing the Paramatma whom you pleased already. So these are the four reasons. So he says, Aho Prajapatir Patir Bhagavan Harir Abhyaya वनस्पतिम् ओषधींश्च सस्र स स जोर Jorjam Isham Vibhuhu. The Supreme Lord Hari is the master of all living entities, including all Prajapatas, such as Brahma. Because he is all pervading and indestructible master, he has created these trees and vegetables. So there is a purpose in Lord's creation, nothing is happening random. This is a very important principle. If you know, conscious person is creating this universe because first thing it is a desire of the Lord this creation. Not only desire, he is having intelligence and capability of creating this universe. And because he is making it, he must be having some purpose. So there is a conscious being who is desiring to create this universe, and his intelligence also capable also, because of which this is happening. So we have to, when we are engaging with matter nature, we have to be conscious, which is very difficult. So Annam cha, here he start telling about different species. He says Annam cha charanam achara hi apadhyapadacharina asati hasta yuktanam dvipadam cha chatushpadaha. The by nature's arrangement, fruits and flowers are considered the food of insects and birds. Grass and other legless living entities are meant to be food of four-legged animals like cows and buffaloes. Animals that cannot use their front legs or hands are meant to be food from animals like tigers, which have claws, and four-legged animals like deers and goats, as well as food grains are meant to be food for of human beings. So we are not supposed to go for non-veg until unless it's a great emergency. So Prabhupada is writing the nature's law or arrangement of Supreme Lord, one kind of living entity is eatable for other living. Jivo jivasya jivanam vipadaschatuspadah. So the four-legged animals as well as four grains are eatables for human beings. The four-legged animals are those such as deer and goat, not cows. So this is properly writing in the purport we discussed. We'll take three more verses, then we. So he says, Yuyam cha pitaran vadita deva devan chanaka prajasargaya iti iha katam vaksha vrakshin nikardum arhataha. He says that the pure-hearted one of your father, Prajni his Supreme Lord, have ordered you to generate population. Therefore, how can you burn to ashes the herbs which are needed for the maintenance of your subjects? So, if plants survive, then only insects survive, or cows will survive, or animals will survive. So, that's what he's telling. You have to keep a balance. And then he says that Atishtat सतां मार्गां कोपं यच्छति धीपितं पित्रान् पितामहेनापि जुष्टुं वै पतितानहः. So he says, Are your ancestors, you think about them. So he says that the path of goodness traversed by your father, grandfather, great grandfathers is that of maintaining the subjects, including the men, animals, and trees. This is the path that you should follow. Unnecessary anger is contrary to your deed. Therefore, I request you to control your anger. So we saw the four reasons. One reason you are still ecological, either you are subject you have to protect. Then there is ecology imbalance. Now he's telling your forefathers followed dharma. So Pitara Pitamahenapi Jushtum Vai Prapitamahaihi. So despite an honest royal family consisting of kings and their fathers, their grandfather and great grandfather, such royal family has a prestigious position because it maintains citizens or praja. So you have to maintain it. We'll take two more verses for today. Very nice one. तुकानां पितरो बन्धून् दृशः प्रक्ष्म श्रिया पतिः पति प्रजानां भिक्षूणां गृह्याञ्जनां बुद्ध सुहृत्. As a father and mother are the friends and maintainers of their children, as the eyelid is the protector of eye, as a husband is maintainer and protector of a woman, as a householder is the maintainer and protector of beggars, and as the learned is a friend of the ignorant. So the king is a protector and giver of life to all his subjects. The tree are also subject of the king, therefore they should be given protection. The same point. So Supreme Lord is the maintainer for helpless living entities. Trees should be considered praja. They are helpless. They should be protected. And we'll take, this section will end in two shlokas. Only. That's the Supreme Lord. So the shloka goes like Antardvesha Bhutanam Atmeshu Rishti Haririshvaraha Sarvam Tad Dishan Ikshadva Evam Vastoshito Hi Asau. So this is the last reason he says. What is the last reason? Array, Supreme Lord is situated as super soul within the heart, core of heart of all living entities, whether moving or non-moving, including men, birds, animals, trees, indeed all living entities. Therefore, you should consider everybody as a resident or a temple of the Lord. But such violence, by such violence, you will satisfy the Lord. You should not angrily kill those living entities in the form of trees. So this is the reason. And then last two slokas of this section is Yah sampatitam deha aksha akashan manayum ulbanam atma jijnasaya yachet sagunan ativartate. One who inquires into self-realization thus subdues his powerful anger, which awakens suddenly in the body or as is fallen from the sky, transcends the influence of modes of material nature. So this is one more point we are telling, one more reason. So when one becomes angry, he forgets himself and his situation. But if one is able to consider his situation by knowledge, one transcends the influence of modes of material nature. One is always a servant of lusty desires, anger, greed, illusion, envy, and so forth. But if one obtains sufficient strength in spiritual advancement, one can control them. One who obtains such control will always be transcendently situated, untouched by modes of material nature. This is only possible when one fully engages in service of the Lord. So the last sloka, yeah, till here we'll take. This last sloka says here. This section will end here. Alam digdher dhumair deenai tilanam shivamastu vaha varkshiya esha vara kanya pati prati nipe prati praya pratikyatam. There is no need to burn the poor trees any longer. Let whatever trees still remain be happy. Indeed, you should always also be happy now. Here is a beautiful, well qualified girl, Marisha, who was raised in the tree as their daughter. You may accept this beautiful wife. So I'll come to the presentation again. Few slides are remaining in that. Just two slides, then I will leave you free. So, yeah, two paradigm of governance: power elected mode, protector monarchical mode. So, Prabhupada's writing the core drive is desire to influence and rights. So, this is what is the present situation for us: desire for influence and rights. Whereas in the monarchical, bonded duty and responsibility. So they are ruling because it is a duty to protect they are doing, not for influence and rights. And time horizon, short time, election cycle. This is multi generation lineage and legacy. And definition of subject is human citizens with voting power. All living entities are subjects of the state, not just some human beings. And relationship to ecology, resources to be exploited, managed. Whereas in monarchical, war to be violently protected. So take away the Vedic monarch is not merely a political executive, but the cosmic guarantor of universal protection across all species. So anatomy of anger and uh, the gunas. Anger is described as arriving abruptly as if falling from the sky upon the body, causing one to forget their actual spiritual situation. So this is happening. The willpower suppression, attempting to hold back lust, anger, or greed through sheer force, prone to catastrophic failure. So this dam is getting broken because forcefully you are trying to hold. But self-inquiry devotion, unwavering engagement in bhakti yoga generates sufficient spiritual strength to progress through forces, allowing the practitioner to entirely transcend the influence of material gunas. So Bhakti Yoga is deflecting, it is self-inquiry. So when anger comes, na, it gets deflected. Uh, the because unwavering engaged bhakti generates sufficient spiritual strength to progressively process these forces, allowing the practitioners to enter transcendence. So nice point here. And then resolution and restoration of balance. So, persuaded by Soma's flawless interpretation of logic, duty, and theology, the Pritishas relinquish their anger, the burning ceased, and the surviving trees are left in peace. To cement this renewed harmony between the rulers and the ecosystem, Soma offered Prachetas a bride, Marisha, a highly qualified girl raised by the trees as their own daughter. What is the takeaway? True governance does not end with the cessation of violence. It requires the active ingredients and union of leadership with the natural world it governs. So there should be relationship. So and the last slide, last but one, the anatomy of enlightened leadership. What is that? Inner mastery. That means emotional regulations. So the leader should have, they should be transcending the gunas through self-inquiry and devotion rather than suppressing anger through willpower. No, we should not do like this. We should transcend. So outer duty is expanding the definition of stakeholders to include all life, managing the factual web of protective relationships. So they have to protect, and then power. The spiritual vision is transcendental awareness. One is inner life, outer life, and the spiritual life. Recognizing the super soul in every living entity, establishing the ultimate basis for empathy. So here, first is willpower, second is relationship, third is empathy. So power safely transforms into sustainable, saintly governance. The power requires austerity, character requires devotion. The story of Prachadas reveals that immense capability without inner spiritual regulations yields only destruction. By adopting the vision of super soul and the duty of universal protector, modern leaders can move from external of uh, excursion of power to the cultivation of lasting prosperity. Exertion of Okay, thank you all very much. Any questions, comments? This is first 15 verses of this chapter and this section. Second section is about Daksha and his prayer. So here this pastime ends here. Okay. Could you please explain once again difference between sin and offense and how it has effect? So, okay. Sin is offense is anything connected to Krishna. You are dealing wrong, disrespectfully. It is offense. Sin is you are trying to enjoy without proper rules and regulations, and disrespecting people, enjoying in this material world, all comes under sin. But if that same activity is connected to Krishna, Krishna's devotee, Krishna's dham, Krishna's holy name, then it becomes offense. That is the main difference. Yes, Gail Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare
Um, just towards the end, you were mentioning about it's like a dam is broken or something. You
Yeah,
remember that? Yeah. What were you saying there?
I am telling if you try to suppress, then it will break. We should not suppress. We should properly engage. So,
Oh, you're talking about our emotions,
yes,
our
yes, yes, yes.
negative things. Mhm. Okay. Yeah. Just one other thing is it's about the cow. You know, I've always wondered since the cow is a conditioned soul, just like anybody else here, right? It's not Surabhi, like it's not the transcendental cow in the spiritual world. So, I mean, I understand that, we use um, the byproducts in sacrifices and so on like that. But I'm just wondering why, since the cow is just another conditioned soul, and since yeah, why is the cow, you know, so much um, protected by Krishna, and why is it that how do we understand that the cow has such higher consciousness than any other animal? So these two things I'm wondering about.
Yeah, first is Krishna likes cow because they are non-envious. And if you give a monkey, if you have come to Vrindavan, if you are feeding monkeys, you see monkeys, if you give to one monkey and there is more food, it will not allow other monkeys to come and eat. It will try to grab everything on its own. Other, if it is very strong, it will not allow. If you give to the cow, they will not do like that. Other cow can come and eat. It may little bit push, but it will not stop him from eating. But other animals, that mentality is not there. Dogs or monkeys, they're envious. Cows are non-envious. Krishna likes, and that's the reason the grass turns into that pure. They have this selfless mood. That's why the milk is also very pure, which comes from cows, because they have that selfless attitude. That is the important reason. So they are like that. So Krishna likes them. He made them like that.
Mhm. Um, okay, thank you, Guru.
Sita Kumar.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Pranam.
Pranam.
Prabhu, my question is, you said that, in the purport, Prabhupada says that human beings can eat lower animals, not the cows. So, Prabhu, but at the same time, Prabhupada also says in some of the lectures that our intestines and our bodily structure is not made that we are not even, by nature also, we are not made that we can digest such non-vegetarian food. So, then why Prabhupada is here saying is they can, if need be, they can eat the lower animals.
Yeah, because some parts of the world, no, there will not be some grains available sometimes. So that's why it is there. So uh, But need be means only needful times we should people they are allowed to take. They will not get much heavy reactions. But it is not like you can have breakfast, lunch, dinner. It is not like that recommendation. It is said, okay, even if you are eating, don't eat cow. You can eat some goat or something. So anyway, people are doing. So Prabhupada said, okay, you are doing anyway, but don't do at least cow. That's what it is. Not giving permission to them. It is just uh, trying to reduce their reaction. Anyway, they'll get reaction for eating it. But at least you can reduce your reaction by eating this level only. But not cow. Cow you will get maximum bad reaction. That is the point.
Okay, okay, fine. So, and Prabhu, just from biological point of view, so that means our intestines can digest these foods.
People are eating, they are digesting, but they are cooking and eating. When animals they eat, they don't cook, no, they directly eat. That means they don't have problem. For us, we have problem. We have to cook and eat, and we cannot directly eat them.
Mhm. Okay, okay. Thank
That's
you so
why
much,
we
Prabhu.
tell biologically it is not suitable because this is the reason.
Right, right. Right, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Okay, any other questions, comments? Yeah, thank you all very much. Tantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We have seen in West Bengal Hindus themselves are into beef business, and how come it is possible government put? Yeah, we don't know political things. That is Kali Yuga.